This experience ranks among the most memorable and chilling ones I've ever had, especially since my friends seemed to bear the brunt of the fear, enhancing the terror for those of us who witnessed genuine frights over those nights. I couldn't remain silent, needing to confirm that what I felt wasn't an isolated experience. After sharing stories, it became clear I wasn't imagining things, leaving my friend visibly shaken and noticeably paler. In conversations about ghostly encounters, the tales often revolve around tragic endings, spirits lingering in hotel rooms, their lives ended by their own hands in various tragic ways. Yet, during our 3-day, 2-night stay, it was the presence of a woman who had tragically ended her life by slitting her wrists that lingered with us. We never questioned the staff for details, but the eerie sensations we felt seemed to communicate a story beyond words. Our gathering in a group was for a cosplay event, held in one of Kuala Lumpur's largest halls. Yes, I'm proudly Malaysian. To economize on travel time and costs, we decided to share a room among a few of us girls. We carefully stored our bags to the side to prevent any accidental trips or falls, and we either continued working on our props or enjoyed some television before bedtime. On the inaugural night, I let everyone else go ahead with their showers as I looked forward to a relaxing soak in the bathtub. So, I bided my time by watching TV and enjoying some snacks. The person who showered before me emerged with a puzzled look, possibly from the disarray that often accompanies staying in unfamiliar places, or perhaps noticing something amiss with the room or service. She didn't voice her thoughts but indicated she was finished, allowing me the bathroom to myself. I eagerly filled the tub with warm water and settled in for a soothing bath, accompanied by some gentle music. During my bath, which lasted longer than I anticipated as I drifted into a light sleep, I was jolted awake by an odd sensation on my wrist. It was as though something sharp lightly grazed my skin, yet there was no pain, just the sensation. Upon opening my eyes, I expected to find I had accidentally brushed against the faucet or the shower head, but neither was close enough to touch. Intriguingly, it seemed as if a woman's presence was scrutinizing me, wondering why I was in her space. Under her invisible scrutiny, I spoke up, apologizing for any disturbance and promising our departure after our booking, suggesting any complaints be directed to the hotel staff. Feeling the presence dissipate brought me some comfort, and I promptly exited the bath, noticing my pruny fingers. A sense of melancholy accompanied the fading presence, yet the tingling lingered slightly. To ease my mind, I checked for any marks on my wrist, finding none, which relieved me. It wasn't a hostile encounter, thankfully. This experience made me ponder what my friend might have encountered before me. Once the event concluded, and I returned home, the comfort of my own bed was immensely satisfying. A week later, my friend, the same one who had showered before me during our stay, dropped by for a catch-up. Amidst our conversation, she tentatively mentioned the bathroom experience, inquiring if I had noticed anything unusual there. Initially, I hesitated to respond until she gathered the courage to ask, "Is it possible that someone pushed me from behind inside the shower cubicle, even though it was enclosed?" Approximately half a decade ago, the choice for a team outing led us to explore Picton through a ghost tour. It was a new experience for me, although a coworker, who had previously embarked on this adventure, shared fascinating tales from her visit. Her recount involved a nocturnal journey through the town, where photographs captured mysterious orbs, and they encountered intriguing phenomena within the confines of a deserted railway tunnel. When it was our turn, the expedition commenced with a stroll around the town. Our guide pointed out several sites of interest, such as a library where books were often found scattered on the floor come morning, houses with histories of past residents' deaths, and the appearance of orbs in the windows. Naturally, we were fervently snapping pictures, eager to spot any orbs within our captures. Just one street into our exploration, my camera, which had been fully charged, abruptly ceased to function. Interestingly, this peculiar malfunction also affected two other members of our group, which I found rather eerie. Our group, numbering around 30, included individuals who had decided to join the tour again, driven by a curiosity to see if they could replicate their prior encounters. Our guide then ushered us towards a tunnel, sharing the tragic tale of a woman who met her end there in 1916, struck by a steam train. The tunnel, awash in mud, deterred some from venturing too deeply, opting to remain at the periphery. The majority, however, pressed on, illuminating the path with their torches through the deserted passage, its walls marred by graffiti. Towards the tunnel's end, a scattering of leaves hinted at the exit. This eerie exploration unfolded around 10 p.m. We gathered in the center for total darkness once we switched off our flashlights. Around 10 of us clustered tightly in the core, with me embracing a friend for both orientation in the pitch black and for comfort, given my unease. Further along, about 15 others formed a loose semicircle, maintaining a considerable distance from my position, a detail worth noting. Despite my openness and rational, educated mindset, the situation unnerved me slightly. Then, with all lights extinguished and a hush enveloping the tunnel, a delicate, butterfly-like caress grazed the back of my beanie. It wasn't a tug on my hair, as it was fully covered by the beanie. At the moment, I chose not to comment on it, dismissing it as inconsequential and not supernatural. Gazing into the tunnel's darkness, our sense of perception began to warp. Without a visible point of reference, it's easy to feel disoriented. Those among us who had visited before had mentioned spotting a subtle white or blue mist moving along the tunnel's left side. Following their advice, I focused my attention towards what I believed to be the left wall, some distance down the tunnel. There, a faintly illuminated section of the wall seemed to slowly advance towards us. As I observed, it expanded, shifting in hues from a dim blue to a brighter white. Approaching closer on the left, the phenomenon briefly sparkled with electric blue flashes. Just when I voiced my amazement, the mist crossed in front of our small assembly before receding along the wall. At that moment, I experienced another touch at the back of my head, which truly unnerved me. When the lights were turned back on, part of me was trying to rationalize the sparkling effect as some kind of trickery, unable to fully accept it as anything supernatural. As we exited and made our way back to the town, our conversation naturally turned to what we had just experienced. Many from our smaller group confirmed seeing the mist ascend the wall. However, those who were positioned further back didn't notice anything. My husband, in particular, saw nothing but darkness. While discussing, I tentatively brought up the subject of the electric blue sparkles. Although those immediately around me didn't recall seeing such a thing, one man expressed interest, noting that he too had observed the sparkles, describing them as the same electric blue I had seen. Documenting this experience, I find myself grappling with uncertainty. My logical side leans towards the idea of a trick, yet I can't fathom how it was executed. The vividness of what I saw challenges the notion that it was merely an illusion born from the darkness. Curiosity led me to search online, where I repeatedly encountered the term ectoplasm, reminiscent of ghostly lore. The inability to rationalize this event leaves me vexed, pondering the possibility of deception. The diversity in what we each perceived adds to the puzzle. The sensation of someone touching me so gently in that tunnel remains unexplained. The lack of visual cues made any deliberate touch from someone at a distance unlikely to be so precise.